asks us to extend exercise 7 where we did the single digits and combine that with what we did in exercise 6. You can actually see my side panel here. So the way we're going to approach it in this instance is actually doing some code refactoring and introducing methods. So let's go ahead and actually grab the code for exercise 7, which we have here. I'm going to just go ahead and copy paste most of this. And we're going to come into here and drop it into here. Now, we don't want to do this. What we actually want, we want to create a new method, and we're going to call it int parse number, or get number from user. And what it's going to do, it's effectively going to do everything we did here, but by actually not doing sort of the work in the main method, but doing it in this new method that we created. Now, this is going to require a little bit more consideration. So we can essentially have the same code. We're going to do the same input parsing, but we can actually think about this for a moment. Do we want to do the parsing in here along with the prompting, or do we want to just do the actual parsing? Now, I'm going to argue that the only thing we want to do is we actually just want to do the parsing. So let's go ahead and actually do this like this, input. And we're going to take this input out like this. And we're going to move this logic back into main over here. And so now we need the standard string input. And this is going to grab our input. And we can go ahead and just call this value now as well. And we'll say get number from user. We'll do it like this. So int parsed number, and then since it get number from user, I'm going to pass in input like this. We don't want this, so I'm just going to go ahead and do return desired number. So actually it's like this, and we don't really need any of these things here. Okay, right? So we don't actually need any of this logic here because we did the parsing and we're not printing the value out. We're just doing the parsing. Oh, great, so we did that case. And now with input size, we're going to do it like so. And so here we want to go ahead and return I over here like so. We actually don't need the found true anymore because we know that if we finish the loop and we never returned, well, that means that we have an error. So we can go ahead and just say return -1. And we can actually then expect and document this and say that if we return -1, that means we have an error. So this, and we also don't need this over here now. So this simplifies things quite a bit. So now we have our parsed number. So what we want to do is like this. Let's make sure that so let's actually consider that we are going to building a calculator. So we're going to go ahead and do it a little bit differently. So we need to do slightly different input here. So let's go ahead and think through the process. We need string input 1. We'll do input 2. And let's change the prompt. Please, and then our operation, car op. And we're going to do like this. Please enter a calculation either as a digit or written out 0. And so we know what we're expecting here. I'm going to do input 1, input 2, and operation. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do input 1. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing, parsed number 1. We're going to do int parsed number 2, get number from user. We could put this in the loop, but it's really not necessary at this point. We can do it like this. Int parsed number is like so. And we can do it like this. If parsed number is greater than or equal to 0 and parsed number is less than or equal to 9, return parsed number. else return -1. So this is our error. This becomes effectively our error code. And now we can actually simplify this even further. So we can say int parsed we'll say number is equal to -1, and that's going to be our default failure scenario over here. And now what we can do is if parse number, where is it, red, semicolon, right? And we can actually do like this, good. We can say parse number, so we can say number gets parse number, and we don't need this else. That's the default fail scenario. And the same here. We can do this like this, number gets I, and return number. Now, the reason this is another benefit is the fact that we are returning from a single place in the function that is considered good behavior and good style. Okay, so let's come back over here. So we can say parse number does not equal to -1 and parsed number 2 does not equal to -1. So we know that both values are good. So now we can actually do the calculation. So let's come back to our exercise 6 solution where we did the calculation. And what we need to do is we need to grab the logic here. And we will come back to here and add another method. And this is going to be the, we'll call it double calculate result. And it's going to take, we can do the case casting, but let's just go ahead and keep it as integers because that's, we'll actually do double, and we'll just cast it to double A, double B, and car op. And we can come over here like this. Here's our logic. And we can say double result like this. And we don't need the word operation here. We don't need the word operation here. Don't need the word operation here. We just simplify things a little bit for this exercise, and now return result, right? And now we can do like this. We can see, we do standard cout. The result, I will say input space op space equals calculate result, and we're going to say parsed number 1. We can actually put this in the new line so it's easier to read. Parsed number 2 and op. And we can go ahead and terminate this. Okay. Else input 1 operation space input 2 operation space equals else standard cout the input values 1 or 2 were not valid. And that wraps it up. So now let's go ahead and run this and see if it does the right thing. So we should be able to do something like 3, 8 minus, and that gives us -5. Let's run it one more time. It's going to be more interesting if we do something like 7, 9 divide, and that gives us the right value as well. So this looks like it's doing the right thing, which is pretty neat. So we can go ahead and ship this.